Today, I want to talk to you about investing and how sometimes people are limited in how they invest and why they don't invest and the fear around it. Investing in myself has been one of the biggest payoffs I've ever had in my entire life. And I work with women who are just like me, high performers. They know how to do. They are entrepreneurs, business owners, and some of them have this reluctancy to invest and they have a fear around it. If I put this money out there, will it be gone forever and what will happen? And I feel like sometimes when we play at a higher level and we start investing, we change things. When I left law and I started doing what I'm doing now, what was that shift in that perspective? For me personally, I see that I was at a place where I was starting all over again and I did not have the funds to basically grow my business. So a lot of people will take a loan out, they'll get capital to start a business. I literally had nothing. I had just my will and that was it. What I did was I tried to find programs and courses that I could take that would help amplify me. I was watching free things. And the moment that I found a mentor, that something clicked inside of me and I was like, wait, this person is actually speaking to me. I'm understanding them at this level. Maybe there's 10 other people that might be saying the same thing, but this person is getting through to me. I need to invest in them. The moment that I made some money, I reinvested back into myself and I started hiring mentors to find out what they did to get where they are. Because one thing that I was for sure of is that I was going to bet on myself. And a lot of times when people are afraid of making investments, they're afraid of it not working out. But the truth is they're afraid of, is that investment going to work? Okay. But the real truth is, am I going to do the work? Am I going to show up? I think a lot of the times people disappoint themselves because they actually don't follow through with the things they say they're going to do. They're not committed to their goals. They're not committed to their success. They're not committed to the outcome. So the real fear is if this is going to work, am I going to do the work? Am I going to be able to show up and be that person that needs to be, take care of this? And for me personally, I knew you show me how to do something, I will go do it and I will do it even better. I could bet on myself. I just needed someone to show me the pathway. And when I have other women that come into my space that are just like me, they're like, Shamina, just tell me what to do and I'll do it. They have the most extraordinary success in my programs. They have their highest cash months. They break income ceilings. They have better relationships with their families. They're working way less. They're spending more time with their loved ones. They're hiring teams, got programs and offers that are just making money while they're not actually active in the business. That to me is true wealth, being able to get your time back. Going back to the fear around investment, I've met so many women that I've gotten calls with, and they know they need the work that I teach or maybe someone else's. And the fear is so debilitating to let go of the money because they have this fear of whether or not it's going to work. Imagine if you were told that this would work for you and you still had that fear. Imagine how much that fear is blocking all the things you could be doing and creating and succeeding in life because you're afraid of the possibility of something actually working out. I want to do things and I want to get there faster. So I need somebody who can show me how to collapse time and get there faster. Like, what do you know that I don't? And just show me what to do. So when I was struggling again and starting all over again, I was using whatever available credit card space I had, however I could get money to invest in programs and mentors to get myself to the next level. I didn't care that that stuff was going on credit because I was able to reassess what credit was. It wasn't a debt to me because listen, many people graduate law school, business school, med school, or just college in itself with a crazy amount of debt. I know so many people that went to law school that aren't even practicing attorneys right now and they have the debt from it. And they would fear investing in themselves more than, well, $10,000, that's a big deal because they fear, like, where's this money going to go? I don't know. But yet they have this big lump of money hanging over their heads and they're not even using their degrees. And so to me, that doesn't even make any sense. This is how I reframed and reprogrammed the investment into myself and putting on a credit card. I looked at it as school. That's what I told myself. I go, this is my tuition to starting my business. This is my tuition to my self-development. This is my tuition to understanding things that I don't understand and finding out about myself and how I can grow this business faster. So I looked at it as tuition, and the interest on the credit card was just that. And so for me, I never looked at it as being a bad thing or a negative thing. You see, way we're raised in society is you need to save, you need to put money away, you need to not spend, you need to basically pull back on everything instead of leveraging debt, instead of doing the things that you want to do, instead of expanding yourself into more wealth, instead of making more income. You're raised with to save and not do anything with it. And I've said this many times before, is the worst kind of broke person isn't the person without the money, it's the person with the money and they can't invest it or spend it or use it. And so let's think about like hearing a deal like this. One of my clients is got an offer right now. I've helped her, cross million. She's going to make $30 million this year. When she came to me, she was making $100,000 a month and she couldn't break through it. She just told me a couple of days ago that they're going to make 30 million this year, which is amazing. Bravo. But she's got an offer where I can invest with her, and it's a 2-month return, and it's a crazy amount of return on the money. I know it's a good thing. I'm going to give my lawyers to look at, but many people will be like, suspicious. Like, what is that? Do you know the person? And they have this fear, and every right that they should ask those questions. But really what's coming up is, will I never see this money again? If you can release the fear around how you use money, you would actually acquire and use way more money than you are right now. And this is something that is so important. We have a money monetization methodology that we bring people through. We have, a cash accelerator. We have so many different processes that we bring people through, like a step-by-step. This is what you need to do first. This is what you need to do second. And when you pick up and understand the tools that we're using, you go implement them in your business, in your life, you start seeing where you are not actually expanding yourself more wealth. You're actually contracting yourself. You're living by the old Dave Ramsey, philosophies and lifestyles about keeping things, constricted as opposed to expansive. Real quick, if you want my daily money-making moves of a CEO PDF so that you can now have power over money instead of money having power over you, click the first pinned comment below or find it right in the description. You'll be able to show up more powerfully with money and build your confidence with wealth. I give you actionable steps so that you can get in alignment with money and increase your monthly income. And the best part, you can get started right now. Enjoy, and let's get back to the video. A growth mindset is expansive. A lack mindset, scarcity mindset is constrictive. And so you have to keep expanding. And this is why I talk about wealth consciousness, because it's an expansion of wealth and your consciousness. It's about the more. It's about it being everywhere and understanding that wealth is there for you. So next time you go to make an investment, ask yourself, what is the fear around it? Why are you second guessing yourself? Why are you worried? If you see that other people are getting results and it's happening on repeat, why do you think you're so special that it wouldn't work for you? And ask yourself, why are you limiting yourself? Limiting yourself is making yourself playing small. Limiting yourself is saying you don't deserve that success and wealth that's waiting there for you. How else are you going to overcome it? People have to decide whether or not they are their limitation or not. I knew when I was starting my business, I was not going to be my limitation. Not having money to invest was not going to be my limitation. Absolutely not. I was open and ready for the expansiveness because I knew there was a place to grow. Where I was stuck was no growing there. It was like living month to month, paycheck to paycheck in that mindset, And I wasn't paycheck to paycheck because I had my own business, but it was I still wasn't making any money because I wasn't practicing law anymore. So I was on my monthly allotment that I can get from what I had at the time. And let me tell you, it wasn't much, but I knew that it had to work. And I made it work because I did everything. I was willing to stay up till 5 o'clock in the morning, learning ClickFunnels, teaching myself different things because I didn't have teams. I only had myself. I had taught myself how to use Canva. Back in the day there, it was PicMonkey. And, I was making my graphics for my programs. I was opening up the Facebook groups. I was doing whatever I needed to do to get it done. I don't think a lot of people are willing to do that. They want things on a silver platter. And sometimes when people say, hey, that didn't work, that investment didn't work, I want to ask you, did you actually do everything you were supposed to do? Did you show up and do the work? Can you say you completed the process? Because most people can't. If you like this video, please give it a like below so that we know that you enjoyed it. Comment any questions you have and I'll answer ASAP. And if you haven't yet, it's time for you to stop holding yourself back from the more that you've always wanted. Hit the subscribe button and then turn all notifications on so you'll never miss a video. All right, let's hop back into the video. I want you guys to really think about that. Think about how much you've gone in on yourself, and whether it's an investment in the stock markets, investment in a business, investment in yourself, investment in your growth or a mentor or whatever it is. Look at things as an investment and not an expense when it comes to money that way. It'll shift your perspective because when people think I told you about a woman who said she could have bought a car with one of, my programs. Okay, but that car is never going to bring you money. That car is not going to bring you that result that you want, right? You need to go out there and find something that's going to multiply your money if that's what you're looking for. If you're measuring it up against either a car or a program. That's such a lack in scarcity mindset. It's limited. It's like they're thinking that this money is only one purpose is to buy something that they think is of value, which is a car, which is limited. It only gives you that one hit where you invest in yourself, you make more. This is like the saying goes, or you give a man a fishing pole, he eats for a day. You know, you teach a man to fish and he eats for life. And that's really the growth mindset. And a lot of people don't see it that way. And this is what's really inhibiting and preventing them from growing their businesses and their bank accounts and their wealth to beyond the limits that they are right now, because they see things so limited. And that limit is what stops them from the more.